Hey y'all, I hope y'all are doing okay. I'm doing a lot better, so I thank y'all for your good wishes. Today, you're going to embark on a conversation, some note taking, some thinking, some exploring, some applying of what we've already learned to tease apart the relationship between genes and traits. And so, start a new entry in your notebook. And by the way, there are going to be 6 major aspects we're going to talk about. As we move forward, the things that you want to be sure to write down will be in red. And the first one is one that you should already know. We've addressed it a bit already, and it's the fact that most traits are affected by both genes and environment. One of the ways we've learned about that is through twin studies. Some of y'all said you were curious about twins, and twin studies have been a major source of learning in the field of genetics. In particular, comparing identical twins and fraternal twins, because that standardizes a lot of the variables of the environment that they grow up in. Not entirely, but a lot. And so if we think about how they both happen, identical twins are twins that happen from a single zygote. So as you recall, a sperm and an egg unite. A fertilized egg is a zygote. It's that single diploid cell that through mitosis will divide and divide and divide, become an embryo, a fetus, a baby, an individual. However, for reasons that aren't entirely known, at some point in that process, early, something happens and it's like, I don't want to be one baby, I want to make 2. And so that single zygote at a certain phase just decide of divisions becomes 2 embryos, fetuses, babies, instead of just 1. And so they are genetically identical. Same alleles for all those genes. Fraternal twins, on the other hand, happen when 2 different eggs and 2 different sperm unite. So you have 2 separate fertilized eggs, so they're as similar as siblings with the same parentage. On this slide, you'll see a list of a fair number of characteristics that might be of interest, right? Height, reading disability, autism, Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, alcoholism, bipolar disorder, hypertension, diabetes. This little chart is going to show what percentage of twins, from 0% of twins to 100% of twins, share those. So that's looking at the 2 twins. So identical twins on this chart are going to be graphed in white and fraternal twins in kind of gray. So if both of them pretty much all the time share the exact same height, then they'd be at 100%. If both, and this is of course studies of many twins to get data from. Let's take a look at what the data shows. So one of the things this graph illustrates is kind of the varying impact of genes and environment among these characteristics, but you can think of all kinds of other traits would fall onto some kind of spectrum like this of greater or lesser environmental influence. Now, there are some things, several of which y'all researched in the slideshow that you made of genetic conditions. Some of those are pretty much cut and dried, 100% genetic. If one twin has it, the other one's definitely going to have it, no questions. But those are actually relatively rare when we think of the myriad traits that humans have. More of them will fall like these into some kind of spectrum of some genetic impact and some environmental impact. And that environment means some things that you have some control over and some things that you don't, right? The air you breathe, the climate you live in, the food you eat, the exercise you get, the sleep you get, the experiences you have, how much stress you're under. Those are all environment. So why do I allocate a fair amount of time talking about this? Um, if you walk away with anything, I want you to walk away knowing that you're not just a sack of DNA. And I want to burst any biological determinism ideas out there that, it's your DNA, it's who you are, and that's the end of the story. Um, who you are is a complex uh, dynamic of your experiences and your environment and your choices and your genes all together. So that is one of the key points I want you to bear in mind and know about you.